Most people believe muscle loss after 65 is inevitable. They think it's just age. Time passing, something no one can stop. But what if that belief is wrong? What if your muscles aren't disappearing because you're getting older, but because your body quietly stopped listening to the protein you eat? This is something almost no one explains clearly. Not doctors, not nutrition labels, not even most fitness experts. And yet, it affects nearly everyone after the age of 65. You eat eggs. You eat chicken. You drink protein shakes. You do everything you're told. Your balance feels uncertain. Stairs feel steeper than they used to. This is not a motivation problem, and it's not a discipline problem. It's a biological switch that changes with age. Researchers call it anabolic resistance. But that name hides what's really happening. After 65, your muscles stop responding to ordinary protein the way they used to. The same foods that once built strength now pass through your body. Without triggering repair, your muscles hear the signal, but they don't respond. And that's why so many people feel frustrated, because they're doing the right things and getting the wrong results. But here's the part most people don't know. Not all protein is ignored by aging muscles. Some foods still get through. Some still activate repair. Some still tell your muscles to rebuild. And today, we're going to reveal exactly what changes after 65, why most protein stops working, and the specific foods and timing strategies that aging muscles still respond to. Stay with me, because one small change in what you eat can make a bigger difference than doubling how much you eat. After 30, muscle loss begins slowly. After 50, it accelerates. But after 65, something different happens. The digestive system slows. Enzyme production drops. Blood flow becomes less efficient. Protein that once reached your muscles now struggles to get there. Imagine knocking on a door that used to open easily. Now the door is heavier. The handle is stiff, and the signal is weaker. That's what happens between food and muscle after 65. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that older adults require nearly twice the protein signal to stimulate the same muscle response as younger adults. But here's the problem. Eating more protein doesn't solve it. In fact, overeating protein often makes things worse. Why? Because excess protein that isn't absorbed becomes metabolic waste. It stresses the kidneys. It increases inflammation, and it never reaches muscle tissue. This is why many seniors feel bloated, tired, or heavy after high-protein meals without gaining strength. The issue is not quantity, it's absorbability. And this is where the story changes. Scientists began comparing protein sources not by grams, but by how aging muscles actually use them. Under microscopes, researchers measured muscle fiber response. They tracked amino acids entering the bloodstream. They observed which proteins triggered repair signals and which ones failed. Eggs, surprisingly, underperformed. So did most meat proteins. Not because they're bad, but because aging digestion can't break them down efficiently. The protein molecules are large, complex, difficult to dismantle. Your body spends energy digesting instead of repairing, but a small group of plant-based proteins behave differently. Their structures were lighter, their amino acid chains were shorter, their absorption was faster. And most importantly, they activated muscle repair even in people over 70. Among these, one stood out dramatically, not because it had the most protein, but because it bypassed age-related resistance entirely. Before we reveal it, let me ask you something. How old are you right now? Drop your age in the comments. We read every response, and it helps others feel less alone in this journey. Now let's break this down step by step. First, you need to understand something critical. Muscle is not built during exercise. It's built during recovery. Exercise creates the signal. Food delivers the materials. But if the signal is weak or the materials don't arrive, nothing happens. After 65, the signal fades. Unless the protein is easy to absorb, fast to enter the bloodstream, and rich in specific amino acids that aging muscles still recognize. Most people focus on protein quantity, but researchers focus on leucine thresholds. Leucine is the amino acid that flips the muscle-building switch. In younger people, that switch activates ES. In older adults, it's stubborn. Only certain foods provide enough leucine in the right form to activate it, and one of the best sources doesn't come from meat. Let's talk about lentils. Most people think of lentils as a simple food. Cheap, basic, ordinary. But for aging muscles, lentils are extraordinary, not because of protein quantity, but because of protein efficiency. Lentils contain smaller protein fragments that are easier to digest. They also contain resistant starch that feeds gut bacteria. Why does that matter? Because gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that directly enhance muscle protein synthesis in older adults. In simple terms, lentils don't just feed your muscles. They train your gut to help your muscles grow. In studies from Canada and Italy, adults over 65 who consumed lentils regularly showed improved leg strength and walking speed, even without increasing exercise. But preparation matters. Undercooked lentils block absorption. Overcooked lentils destroy amino acids. The ideal method: soak overnight, cook gently, consume warm, and most importantly, eat them earlier in the day when muscle sensitivity is highest. Morning and early afternoon are when aging muscles respond best. Late-night protein does very little after 65. This timing alone explains why many people feel they eat well but see no results. Now let's move to something even more powerful. Pumpkin seeds. Tiny, easy to overlook, but metabolically potent. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest plant sources of zinc. And zinc controls testosterone, not just in men but in women as well. After 65, testosterone and growth hormone drop sharply. This reduces muscle repair. Pumpkin seeds help restore the hormonal environment muscles need to rebuild. But there's a catch. Raw pumpkin seeds contain enzyme blockers. If you eat them raw, most of the protein is wasted. They must be lightly roasted or soaked, and they should be eaten alone, not with dairy. Calcium competes with zinc for absorption. This one mistake cancels their benefit entirely. When used correctly, studies show pumpkin seeds improve grip strength, balance, and muscle endurance in older adults. That's not fitness marketing. That's measured function. But now let's talk about the food that surprised researchers the most. Hemp seeds. Hemp protein behaves differently from almost any other protein. Its primary protein, edestyne, is nearly identical to human blood proteins, which means your body recognizes it immediately. No struggle, no resistance. It passes digestion quickly and enters circulation efficiently. In older adults, hemp protein outperformed whey protein in muscle thickness gains. And unlike whey, it didn't cause bloating, inflammation, or fatigue. Hemp seeds also contain omega fatty acids that reduce chronic inflammation, one of the biggest blockers of muscle growth after 65. So, never cook it. Sprinkle it. Blend it. Add it raw. And spread intake across the day. 1 tablespoon at a time works better than 1 large serving. Now we arrive at the most misunderstood food on this list. Chia seeds. Most people think chia is for digestion, but for aging muscles, chia acts like a slow-release protein system. When soaked, chia forms a gel. That gel slows digestion, stabilizes amino acid levels, prevents muscle breakdown between meals. Older adults who consume chia maintain steadier muscle signals throughout the day. No spikes, no crashes. And chia provides calcium, magnesium, and boron minerals essential for muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Dry chia does nothing. Soaked chia changes everything. Timing matters. Before breakfast, between meals, and before sleep. That's when muscles are most vulnerable. Finally, the most powerful one. Flax seeds. Flax doesn't work like food. It works like a signal. Flax contains lignans compounds that interact with hormone receptors. They protect testosterone and growth hormone from breakdown. They don't increase hormones artificially. They preserve what you already have. And after 65, preservation matters more than stimulation. But flax must be ground. Whole flax passes straight through you. Ground flax activates a gel that protects nutrients during digestion. Morning consumption is critical. That's when cortisol is highest and muscle breakdown risk is greatest. Flax redirects that signal from breakdown to preservation. This is why flax consistently ranks as one of the most powerful foods for muscle maintenance in older adults. Now here's the truth most people avoid. No single food fixes everything, but strategy does. Right foods, right preparation, right timing. After 65, muscle is not about effort. It's about precision. If this video helped you see protein differently, leave a comment saying, "I'm taking control." And if you want more science-backed guidance for staying strong as you age, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because weakness is not inevitable. It's often just misunderstood. Comment your age below and which food surprised you most. We read every comment and reply.